So here is the April Fool's tournament that I was in, and my mom was nice enough to get some video footage of me. So I'm just going to talk through some of the shots here. Off the tee, just open my hand early. I'm having a little trouble trusting me keeping the disc in my hand, letting the form rip the disc out of my hand. So sometimes I release early by opening my hand. But here, looking out a long circle one, maybe circle two putt, and really just a layup there because not really looking to make that. So I'm going to take this shot with a par here. And this is about halfway through my first round. Had a pretty good first round here, and this is second hole here that we're going to be watching. Took a par on that hole, and then here I actually threw a really good looking shot, and as you can see, they thought it had a chance to go in, and it just went long by. So I ended up throwing an up shot. This is my third shot here for par. I just threw an up shot here just to get it in here. Took a par here. Moving on even through these first two holes. Here's just a little lefty hyzer hole. I actually threw this pretty good, but I threw a disc that was a little bit too overstable for this shot. I should have went down a little bit on the overstability, and it would have been a perfect shot. So here I have a look at birdie, and I just leave it short. So I have a tap in par once again for another par through three holes. Gonna tap this in and move on to the next hole. Right now I'm even through the three holes on the video. Here you just got a up the hill shot. I threw this kind of nose up, and I ended up hitting the front of the hill and skipping. And we had some guys up there letting us know what it was, and I ended up being parked. Here's where my disc landed. Tap in the birdie, move on one under through the four holes that are being recorded. This right here is the last hole of my round, first round here. Just throwing this Glow Envy. I'm actually deciding between this Fission and the Envy here. You see I'm testing the wind. And at the last second, I decided to go with the Glow Envy. I'm like, the headwind, I'm just not really sure. I don't know if I can trust it. So I grabbed the Glow Envy. And now I'm going to be throwing this, and we'll just see how this goes. And I threw this, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I just absolutely laced this shot. It's going to skip practically underneath the basket. So here's my tap in birdie to finish out my round. So I ended up finishing 2 under on the last 5 holes. This is my second round, first hole. This is actually that was actually for par there. I ended up hitting an early tree and then took a bogey on this hole. So I started my first round and second round off with a bogey. Throwing a midi here. Actually, I don't remember if this is a runway or midi. I think it might be a runway. Anyway, I hit an early tree, and looking here for a long birdie putt. And just left it short again, but I will have a tap in par. Here, this hole gave me trouble both rounds. I just kept grip locking it because it's such a short hole downhill. This is my third shot for par. Just looking to get a par here on this hole. I did par it in the first round. As you can see here, I hit off the basket. So did do a slight roll away, but not too bad. They're measuring to see if they got CTP or not, and then I'm just going to tap this in for a bogey to be 2 over. And this, guys, is the best shot of my tournament. I know you can't see it well, but there's a bit of a headwind, and this is the only video footage I got of this hole. But I threw a crave into the headwind, and it flipped and got a big flex shot. It ended up being about 15 from the hole, and tapped in for my birdie. So now I'm 1 over through the round. There was a huge headwind. I threw a Tesla thinking it would keep it straight. For some reason it did not, and I ended up hooking way over here. So then I threw a runway, and I just didn't throw it enough because usually this is a entropy for me upshot, but I was just worried with this headwind, so I ended up leaving it short. Putted that and just missed it, so I'm taking another bogey to start this round. Here I'm going to be throwing my Purple Prism Envy and I ended up having a birdie look here. This is the second time this hole had a birdie look, and I just missed left. So I'm going to tap in my par. I'm going to be 1 over through the round. Get to this hole. This hole I had a birdie look in the first round as well. I ended up taking a par, but this is the only shot I have of this hole, and I ended up taking a birdie on that hole. This, you can see how the ripping headwind is. The disc ended up hitting a root and bouncing up and almost going into the basket. I took a par there. This is going to be hole 3 of the tournament here, I believe. Like I said, I didn't get all the, yeah, this is hole 3, so I missed 1 and 2. We didn't get all of the video, but my mom was nice enough to get some video here of me in my first tournament that I have on video. I think this is my par shot here, and I just missed it low. I'm gonna come back here, tap in the bogey. Ooh, that puts me back at 1 over. Here's the shot here. I'm just, first round I had a trouble with this hole, but luckily and then there was headwind coming off this here, so I just laid up and took a par instead of risking it, take a birdie. Back of the same hole as you saw earlier in the video, different. This is second round. Didn't get the rest of it, but I did take another par, another release that had came out early where I opened my hand too early. Took a par there as well. This, I tried to take another hyzer look, but I just did throw it, and it hyzered out bad on me. So I had this putt for birdie, and it's a straddle putt, which is not my best here. This is my weakest part of my putting, is my straddle putting. So I putt this, I hit a tree, and the video cuts off, but it rolls down further than where I was. So I had this putt to save par, another straddle putt. I need this to just get some confidence going, and I was able to put that in. Did get another par there, which was huge. Back on this hole, so I learned from my first lesson. I threw a less stable disc, but I threw it too far inside and I hit a tree. So I have this look. I think this is my par shot actually, and just missed it. Yep, tapping in a bogey here. Going back, missed my drive, but once again on the next hole I laced it. Beautiful tap in birdie. This is the second to last hole of the tournament here, and threw the same shot I did the first time, but I just threw this one too low, and ended up, this is for my birdie shot here, and I really didn't have anything because I didn't want to risk it. I did try to give it a little bit of a run, but I just threw it short. Gonna tap in a par there, and then this, I did not know this at the time, but you can see this guy looking. I almost aced that hole, and ended up taking a birdie to finish my round. I shot 1 under on the tournament.